when you're writing a script, you may want that script to be able to do different things for different users. So to make an example of that, I'm going to write a script that simply goes out and gets the directory for a given path and all of the entries in that directory that start with a certain letter. What I want to have happen is that the user who's going to run this script be able to add parameters when they call the script, so that the script will look only in the path they want and the letter that they want. So I'm going to start the script with this command, a parameter command, or this is actually called a parameter block. This is not a command per se. And I'm going to specify two parameters. Now, I didn't have to make these variables. I could have just made them some path and some letter. But I wanted a variable here to be able to make it a little more usable. Now, what's going to happen if I, well, first of all, let's add some more to this. Let's do the get child item. And we're going to get the child item for whatever path is specified in path, and whatever letter is specified in letter, starting with that letter, so we need to asterisk for everything that starts with that particular letter. Alright, let's see what happens if I run this. I'm going to save it. Now you can't see this, I didn't do a save as, but the place I saved it was the C drive, and then the script name was path.ps1. C path ps1, and let's see, I didn't tell it what path to give me the child items for, and I didn't tell it what letter, so let's see what it's going to do. Oh, well, this looks very long here, so let's just stop that. I'm going to go back to the top and let's see what's going on. Yeah, it's choosing to give me C Windows System 32 and then all of the letters, and that's because that's where I'm parked right now. Alright, well, let's go back here then, and let's see if we can change that, how we can change that behavior. Let's, well, I'm going to just go ahead and leave it the way it is, actually, and let's run it again. So, C path ps1, and now I'm going to specify something. Let's specify D documents and all the documents that start with S, and let's see what we have. Let's whoops, I didn't do that right. All the documents that start with S. Now I've got my two parameters here, D documents and S. Let's see what happens. Oh, sure enough, it went out and it found all of the D documents that started with S. So very nice. What if I wanted a default in there? Let's see if we can do that. What if I put a default in here? Let's do C Windows System 32, and I'm going to have to put that in quotes. And for the letter, let's make the letter equal to Z. And let's see what happens now, if it will default to this when I run that. First I have to save it. Then I'll go back over here and we will run that command. And sure enough, it gave me C Windows System 32 beginning with D. Well, what happens though if I try to override that? Can I override this and just let this be a default? I'll bet you I can. Let's give that a try. Let's call path ps1, and I will just call, let's see, C, now let's do D. D desktop users beginning with S, and let's see what happens now. Oh, we couldn't find D desktop. Oh, that's because it's not D desktop users, is it? It would help if I did this right. D desktop and then starting with S. Let's see if this works. Oh, sure enough, I got D desktop and then beginning with S. So I was able to override the information here. This is the information that acted as a default, and then by calling the parameter differently, I was able to override that. So that's what this parameter block does. It sets up parameters that you can feed to the script when you call that script. And here's my two parameters that I fed into it. By the way, you notice that they were positional parameters. I did not have to say path and letter. I could have, and that's certainly valid to do. I could have said path and letter, except I didn't put the dash in front of that, and this should work as well, which it did. So this time I put the parameters in there that I had created, and up here I did not, because they are positional parameters, so they are both positional and not positional. They work either way. So this is very clever, although it does take a little time to get used to. And remember, it does have to be the very first line in your script.